lineups for both the Hawkeyes and the Boilermakers. Of course, when we look at Purdue, we talked about Destiny Lombard, the star for the Boilermakers. She ranks second in the Big Ten in steals per game with 2.5 and also leads the team in points per game with 12.8. And on the other side for the Iowa Hawkeyes, Lucy Olson is, of course, the star transfer, but Hannah Stolke, her name has been getting bigger and bigger each season, is averaging 14 points per game and 7.5 rebounds per game, which leads the squad. Joel, when you look at this lineup, Purdue has a few players out tonight, but what do you see from that lineup that stands out to you?
Stands out is their forwards, centers, the big post players, Reagan Bass and Lana McCarthy. They got a big challenge on the hand. You talked about Stolke, but also Addison O'Grady has been playing really good so far this season. So I think that's where the battle is going to be this game, and that's where Purdue's going to have to come out on top if they want to come out here and upset the Hawkeyes in Carver.
We talked with Purdue a little bit before the game, and they said that's going to be a challenge for their freshman down low with Hannah Stolke, one of the premier players in the Big Ten, especially in the post. And we talked about Purdue has played a lot of big games already this season, one of the toughest non-conference schedules in the Big Ten. They know what it's like to play a tough big, but Hannah Stolke is one of one. We'll see if this freshman can battle with one of the best bigs in the Big Ten as we are underway here from Carver Hawkeye, and it's Purdue that wins the opening tip-off. Reynolds has it on the loco. Gives it up right back. Right wing, here's Lombard. One-on-one with Feuerbach. Cross-court pass into the corner. Here's a two for Purdue, and Ella Collier is the first on the board for the Boilermakers.
It's good ball movement there by Purdue. Lombard going down to baseline, kicking it out. And it's good playing and good ball movement. And nice shot.
Destiny Lombard, the fifth year, as Lucy Olson connects to tie it up at 2.
Yeah, that's what Lucy Olson does. She just hits those mid-range jumpers like it's nothing. One of the best in the game that we've seen in a while.
Blocked by O'Grady, picks it up herself. One of the best blockers in the Big Ten. Here's Olson again, drives into the paint, puts up a tough 2 and gets it to go.
I mean, it's automatic. It's almost a guarantee when she puts that up in the mid-range.
Back-to-back mid-range shots connected with 4-2 Hawkeyes. Here's Reynolds, gives it up to Bass. Right back to Reynolds. Drives through the double team, puts it off the glass and good. And we're tied again at 4.
Nice drive there by Reynolds. Through some contact inside.
Feuerbach gives it to Stolke off the glass. Nice layup by Hannah Stolke. We already see that matchup down low with the freshman.
Yeah, and they just can't let Stolke get into that position that she was in. She had the inside locked up.
Here's the 3 from Lombard. Hits off the back iron, rebounded by the Boilermakers. And a Fulter hits the floor. Lana McCarthy wins the battle. And whistles fly.
It's good to see from McCarthy battling with those studs down low for the Hawkeyes.
Head coach Katie Gerald talking things over with Lana McCarthy. 4th season as the head coach for Purdue. Was an All-American guard at Purdue from 2003 to 07, then played for the Seattle Storm. And then traveled the world a little bit, playing for Slovakia, Greece, Portugal, and Spain before becoming the head coach at Marion until 2021. Stolke goes up for the shot and is fouled. But Katie Gerald's one of the more... She's seen a lot in terms of basketball. She's played it at a high level, at the highest level you can, playing for the Seattle Storm for a while. And then was the head coach at Marion, like we said. But
she's a champion.
She is.
An NAIA champion.
Stolke's first is good.
And Gerald's is bringing a pretty good core these past couple of years. She's done a good job rebuilding this Purdue team, and now she's got a lot of transfers coming in, a good recruiting class. Past couple of years, she's gotten some top 100 recruits.
Here is Purdue trailing 7-4. McCarthy with O'Grady. Gives it back to Reynolds. And a foul here. That's going to go on Bass.
Yeah, and Purdue's going to have to be cautious of that. You want to play aggressive on defense, especially against the Iowa team that has struggled with those turnovers. But you can't get in the foul trouble, especially with O'Grady and Stolke. coming out and trying to dominate on the interior.
Here's Lucy Olson from the charity stripe, rims out. Purdue the other way. Reynolds gives it up to Bass, right back to Reynolds. This Purdue team, we talked about the transfers. They've leaned on them heavily. Purdue's 4 transfers has accounted for 53% of the offense this season. And here is Bass, who connects on the mid-range shot. One of those transfers. She's out of Akron. As here is Iowa. Stolke down low, puts up a tough shot, gets her own rebound, trying to get it ripped away, but gets fouled. That's going to be on Lana McCarthy.
Yeah, and Stolke, she went up, threw a lot of contact, missed it, able to just corral it back down, and all those hands dropped for Purdue, and they're going to call that, especially if they see it on the forum, Stolke. It's automatic. But McCarthy with 2 fouls already, so she's out of the game. We'll see how long it'll take before we see her back in the court.
O'Grady with a mid-range shot. 9-6 Hawkeyes. Addie O'Grady has one of the highest field goal percentages in the conference as well. Here's Collier. That one, front end, back end, rolls out. This one's ripped away by Lombard. All alone, easy bucket.
Kind of looked like a Fulter there. She kind of scanning the floor, not really looking at where the defense was, and Lombard just jumped on the opportunity.
Second in the conference in steals with 2.5. Picks up her first there. An easy bucket. Stolke hits the floor of Fulter, puts up a shot, and it's good.
Playing
hitting the floor.
Playing through the chaos. That's what Hawkeyes love to do sometimes.
Purdue goes to work down the baseline through the double team, and she steps out.
Foul there called on Stolke. Little push there on the baseline.
Jan Jensen, first season as the head coach at Iowa. Was an assistant coach under Bluter, of course. And once Bluter decided to retire, it was almost a no-brainer to hand the reins over to Jan Jensen.
It really was. I don't think they could have gone anywhere else. It had to be Jan Jensen for this team.
Collier gets fouled, and she'll head to the line.
It was a good attack by McCabe, a good hand up there on the shooter, but just a little too much hand is what it looked like. I love the aggressiveness, but Purdue, they got to take advantage of these trips to the foul line. They can't let Iowa get on a run early, especially if it's because they're missing some free throws.
Misses her first. Collier, 5th year from Danville, Indiana. Transferred over from Marion this season, one of the 4 impact transfers for the Boilermakers. Taylor McCabe gives it up to Stolke, top of the key. Swings it around to the freshman Stremlow. Stolke with space.
Everyone in the crowd telling Stolke to shoot that, but
she's hit a couple of threes in her career as Lucy Olson pulls up from the top of the key but hits the back iron. And Jones gets the rebound quickly in transition. Bounce pass into the paint. Ripped away by O'Grady. Stremlow with it. Pulls up from 3. Banks it in. The freshman, Taylor Stremlow.
They say the banks close on Sundays, but not today.
Not today. Stremlow, the number 88 overall prospect, a part of a historic freshman class this season for the Hawkeyes. As Bass puts up a wild shot, looking for the foul, but didn't get it.
Yeah, and she kind of shuffled her feet too, so maybe not a travel, but definitely got her out of her rhythm there.
Here's Stremlow again, back to Olson. Thought about a 3 now, drives, pops a shot, and it's good. We talked about it, that mid-range for Lucy Olson is just nasty, already up to 6 points.
I mean, that one just hardly moved the net. It was just perfectly through the rim there.
Here's Jones on the right wing, goes back to the top of the key with Puryear. Collier right back to Puryear. Defenders in her face, short clock. Puts up a shot and it's good. Rashunda Jones picks up a field goal.
She had that good ball fake too. Pump faking on the pass to the wing and created a lot of space for herself.
O'Grady turns around and connects.
Hawkeyes taking advantage of some of the backups in the post for Purdue.
And that was one of the storylines coming in, is how will these freshman posts do against some of the better bigs in the Big Ten in O'Grady and Hannah Stolke. So far, O'Grady going to work. She's going to commit a foul here as Puryear is fouled. 18-11 Hawkeyes as we hit the media timeout. Collier has 3, but the Hawkeyes going to work. Lucy Olson, 6 points already, all of them from the mid-range.
Just hitting them perfect. Hawks got to keep attacking from there.
18-11, you're watching women's basketball on Big Ten Plus. 11 Hawks as we come out of the media timeout. Taylor McCabe had a phenomenal game against UNI, a season-high 15 points, also had a couple of rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 for 8 from beyond the arc. She has become one of the sharpshooters in the Big Ten.
And the Hawkeyes need that. They, opening the season, struggled a lot from outside the arc. So if McCabe can get going, that's going to be huge for this Iowa offense here as we enter Big Ten play.
That pass was intended for Taylor McCabe, but ended up getting tipped into the Purdue bench. Looks like it'll stay on this side of the court with the Hawkeyes. 18-11 so far, and Lucy Olson already early on in this game has been going to work. 6 points. All 6 of them have been from the mid-range. Here's Ava Hyde and puts up a wild shot, and it's good.
Quick move from Hyde, and I love how aggressive she was off that. She knew she had position, and she took advantage there.
One of the top prospects in this loaded freshman class. As here's a 3 from Swanson. That one's off the back iron. It'll be hit out of bounds. The ball will go to the Hawkeyes. But this freshman class is very impressive. Stremlo has already made her name known in this game. Ava Hyden just put up that tough bucket, but so many to go around. And the first time in program history, Iowa has signed 4 ESPN Top 100 prospects. And all of them have been making impacts early this season.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people thought Hyden was going to be the starter down low coming into the year. Of course, O'Grady has shown that she is highly capable of that. But
Mullaney with the turnover. Here comes Purdue. Destiny Lombard drives into the paint, puts up a shot off the back iron, and rebounded by Stremlo.
It's a good move to get into the paint, a little behind the back, but not able to get the job done.
Stremlo goes coast to coast around the rim and in.
Hung up there for a year, it seemed like.
Hawkeyes double Purdue's point total. Lombard gives it up top of the key for Swanson. All the way around for Jones. Back to Collier, all alone, long 2. Rebounded by Hyden. And that's going to be a foul on Puryear as well.
And the shot was open for Collier, but if you're going to be shooting from that far away, you just got to step back. And she had time. There was no one near her. She had time to step back, take the 3. It's just not worth it at that point to take a deep shot like that, only for a 2-pointer.
All 4 of the Hawkeye freshmen are in. Aaliyah Guyton's got it. Coming back from an injury. Stremlo into the paint for Hyden. Off the window and good. Ava Hyden up to 4 points. Timeout Purdue.
Hyden is playing, I think, the best I've seen all season. She's just looks like she's got so much confidence down there on the blocks, and she's moving freely right now.
And they're feeding her as well. All 4 freshmen were in the game along with Taylor McCabe. And we can't harp enough on how big and important this freshman class is, and the fact that they're all on the court together early in a Big Ten matchup really shows you how much Jan Jensen trusts these girls.
Yeah, I mean, the freshmen are the ones providing the depth for the Hawkeyes this year, so they're going to need them to step up, especially once we get into late January, February, and then in the March where the Hawkeyes really look to be in a position to make the tournament again and possibly go on a little run as they have the past couple of years.
Stremlo has 5, Hayden has 4, and the Hawkeyes are on an 8-0 run over the last couple of minutes and have hit 6 of their last 6 field goals.
The name you haven't really mentioned, that freshman group, Guyton, Leah Guyton, she has been outstanding so far this year for the Hawkeyes too, especially in clutch time.
Here's a tough shot by Purdue. Gets it to drop for her first bucket of the day. Quickly the other way, the Hawkeyes in transition. Both teams love to go quick. The Hawkeyes known for it, especially the last couple of seasons with Caitlin Clark, but that mindset has not changed this season. Here's McCabe, long 3. Off the back iron, tipped out to Hayden. Back to McCabe. Thought about a reloaded 3-pointer. Gives it up to Mulaney in the corner. Can't get it to go.
That's Mulaney's spot right there. You won't see her miss a ton open on the corner.
Here's a 3 on the other end for Purdue off the back iron and ripped down by Hayden. She gets fouled as Swanson was trying to rip it away from Hayden and went over the back.
Yeah, it was a very aggressive move there by Swanson. She was a little more on the front side of Hayden. She probably could have gotten away with it, but if you're reaching around the back, you're going to catch arm, you're going to get that call every day of the week.
That's the 5th foul committed by Purdue in this first quarter. Ava Hayden will head to the line. Minute 7 in the quarter. Hayden can't connect on the first. They're sticking with all 4 freshmen on the court.
Yeah, and we see this a lot with freshmen, especially freshman bigs. Free throws it's tough to transition, I guess, from high school. Different courts, but Hayden's really got to get that going the rest of the year and into next year if she wants to have that starting role here in the future.
We saw Hannah Stolke struggle with it early in her Hawkeye career. She's really cleaned that up. As here's a block by Hayden. As Bass went up for the layup, was met by 3 Hawkeyes. Guyton drives into the paint. She gets deflected and goes out of play, but it'll stay on this side of the court.
Boilermakers, good job collapsing there on Guyton, knowing that she didn't really have an option to return. She had no pass-out option there. Can't really pass the ball behind you. But so they were able to block it. Just goes out of bounds on them. Hawkeyes stay with possession.
Guyton inbounds it to Stremlo. Over to McCabe. Into the corner for Guyton. Hayden right back out to Stremlo. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Tried to pass it to Hayden. Deflects it out. Mulaney picks it up. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Mulaney. Stop shot. 3-pointer. It's good. Tegan Mulaney picks up a triple.
What a step back 3 there from Mulaney.
Shot clock turned off with 15 seconds remaining. Reynolds gives it up to Puryear. Hands it off to Petrie. Right back to Reynolds. 5 on the clock. Drives. Gives it up. Swanson, top of the key. 1 second on the clock. Puts up a long 3 and leaves it well short. 27-13 Hawkeyes at the end of the first quarter. And an electric first quarter for the offense.
Before the break, it was Purdue hanging with the Hawkeyes, but Iowa just taking over and mid-range jumpers going in like it's nothing. And now a couple threes for the Hawkeyes. Iowa just kind of getting control in the interior and in this game.
27-13 Hawkeyes as we hit the break. You're watching women's basketball on Big Ten when she's on the court.
And it's going to force Bass to step up and really guard in the interior today, especially if the fouls continue for the Boilermakers.
Absolutely. Here is Purdue the other way. Jordan Poole with it into the paint. Tries to pass it out to Bass. Nearly loses it. And a Fulter rips it away. Lucy Olson the other way. Here's Hannah Stolke. Gets fouled and drops the bucket.
Yeah, Puryear still moving her feet. And Stolke just relentless on driving. I mean, she goes after the contact. She wants to feel it on her way up. And she's so good at finishing through all that contact. I think every time she gets fouled on the way up, it almost seems like she makes it.
And Stolke, she's used to that position in the paint. Last couple of years was, especially last year, was the starting 5 for the Hawkeyes, but getting more of a chance to play that 4 position that she's a little more comfortable with. But when in those positions, not afraid to go up and draw some contact and drop a bucket.
And we've seen how more comfortable she is in that 4 spot on the court. You know, she doesn't have to go up against a center that's maybe 2-3 inches taller than her. She can work better against those other power forwards, even though she's still a phenomenal center. But it's much easier for her to work and get stuff done on the glass.
Here's Poole, long range 2, banks it in after hitting the backboard a couple of times. 30-17, Hawkeye still with a lead. Stolke gives it back to Feuerbach, bounce pass to Stolke and gets ripped on her way up.
A good hand there by Petrie, but just a little too much arm on that steal attempt, and the fouls continue for Purdue.
Stolke didn't have full possession of the ball, but in anticipation, Purdue went for the strip and gets caught with the foul. Olsen inbounds it all the way out to a Fulter on the Hawkeye logo. Feuerbach drives into the paint, puts up a shot, leaves it short, rebounded by Bass. That's going to be a foul on Feuerbach.
That was good defense there by the Boilermakers. Feuerbach kind of just got stuck, forced to throw up a circus shot, and he wasn't able to find anything up there. And Purdue, with a big stop, they want to get back in this one, already down 13.
Poole gives up to Collier. Bounce pass back to Poole. On the charity stripe, good defense from a Fulter. Back to Petrie in the paint, puts up a shot and gets fouled. That's going to be on Hannah Stolke.
Looked like Stolke got a lot of ball when that first left, but she continued to drive her hand down, and she caught a lot of hand after the fact, and they're going to call that, especially if you collapse on someone shooting on the inside.
A lot of fouls early in this quarter. Both teams exchanging multiple free throws. That was Iowa's second foul this quarter. Purdue already has 3.
Iowa's already shot 7 free throws in this game, and still got a lot of second quarter to go through.
Petrie makes it 30-19. Olsen brings it across. A Fulter back to Olsen. To Feuerbach, right wing. Playing catch on the outside. Into the corner for Mulaney. She already has a 3 tonight. Olsen into the paint for O'Grady, but right through the hands of Addie O'Grady, and it goes out of bounds.
So that Purdue defense focus on trapping Mulaney there on the wing down into the corner, and Purdue really likes to change up what they do on defense a lot, see what works, see what really isn't having any effect, and trying to just mess up what the Iowa offense is doing.
A Fulter with a steal, but gets fouled. But you're right, Purdue's defense, they throw a lot of different things at you, and also is to cause chaos. But right there, Sydney Fulter causing chaos on the intercepted pass, but couldn't get away before the foul.
Yeah, good foul there by Purdue. It was Fulter, and Olsen was up ahead of everyone too, so would have been an easy bucket.
Olsen, tough mid-range shot, just rims out. Rebounded by Bass. The other way is Lombard. Left alone for 3 is good. Reagan Bass connects. 30-22 Hawkeyes, and that brings it back to single digits. Bass now up to 5 points, and what a huge 3 there for the Boilermakers.
Yeah, gets him on a 7-0 run now. And that's game of runs. Let's say you get back into this one.
30-22 Hawkeyes. 7:30 left in the second quarter. You're watching women's basketball on Big Ten Plus. 30-22 Hawks with 7.5 to go in the second quarter. AJ Reister alongside Joel Keller. And Joel, Iowa had a pretty sizable lead there, but Purdue on a 7-0 run has brought it back within 8.
Yeah, and they've just been working on Iowa's mistakes here. Able to get the rebounds on the defensive side, not allow some second chance opportunities that Iowa got in the first half, or first quarter. And now that's really given them some life.
And causing traffic in the paint as well, just like they did there. Pushing it out of bounds. Lucy Olsen will inbound.
Yeah, they're really doing a good job jumping those passing lanes.
Jumped that one. Mulaney was looking for O'Grady. But this Purdue defense starting to step up.
That's what they need to do. You know, both these teams struggle with keeping care of the ball. So if Purdue can force Iowa into some turnovers, they're right here in there. And another deflection in the pass.
Mulaney in the corner gets it out to a Fulter. McCabe on the Tiger Hawk logo. Fulter, Olsen, left wing three. Leaves it long into the corner, and Purdue got a hand on it, but they're going to give it to the Boilermakers. Saying that a Fulter got a hand on it before it found the Boilermaker bench.
Yeah, from our angle, it kind of looked like Poole might have touched it on the way out, but she did not.
So it will be Jordan Poole that brings it across. Still an 8-point game. Poole's got it. Puts up a tough two and banks it in off the charity stripe.
That is a nice shot over a much taller defender in O'Grady. A big play there and giving some life to Purdue. You know, they're battling back. Now they're within scoring distance.
Lombard with a steal. Puts up a shot deflected. McCabe comes down with the rebound. Lombard right back to work defensively. That's her second steal already today.
Lucy Olsen's defense showing up there, not giving up on that one, forcing a contested layup that the Hawkeyes were able to get.
Olsen turns it over. Lombard with the interception. Gives it up to Petrie. Bounce pass into Poole on the baseline. Back out to Bass. She drives and loses it. Ball's going the other way. Another turnover for the Boilermakers. They're up to 7. But that was a big storyline coming out of their last game against Indiana State. Season low 11 turnovers. But like we said at the top of the game, both teams tied for second in the Big Ten with turnovers. Trying to clean it up tonight.
So far, not really off to the best start in that area.
McCabe for three. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by a Fulter. Puts up a two, and it's good. A Fulter got the rebound and fought through the defense. Break the 9-0 scoring run from Purdue. Petrie gives it up to Collier on the Mediacom logo. Gets the screen. Back to Lombard. Behind the back. Drives. Loses it. Stremlow lays out for it. Guyton's got it the other way. 2-on-2. Gives it up to Stremlow into the paint. McCabe in the corner. Thought about a three, but a travel is called. And a turnover for the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, McCabe was moving a little early, a little bit before she put that ball on the floor. But, man, talk about the chaos there. Bodies on the floor. Passing the ball from the ground.
Just all over the place, and McCabe caught with the travel. Purdue back to work. Lombard over to Collier. To Jones in front of the Hawkeye bench. Jones gets the screen into the corner. Lombard for three is good.
They needed that one. It kind of seemed like they got to within 6 and started to not trust themselves on offense. They started moving a little too fast, a little too urgent.
Guyton all alone for three, banks it in.
And that's how you answer for the Hawkeyes. Guyton is always there for the big shot.
Stremlow gets a hand on it, pushes it out. And Aaliyah Guyton, big time three, her first bucket of the game.
And I like how Purdue's moving the ball quick right after that. It was a big answer for the Hawkeyes. You know, the fans are starting to get into it, but Purdue trying to move their way down the floor, get some offense going right away, and Stremlow was just there, ready to go, ready to defend and jump that passing lane.
Jones through the defense, puts up a tough layup. Guyton to McCabe, thought about a three, back to Guyton, long range three. Can't get it to drop. A Fulter with the rebound. Guyton around to Stremlow. Bounce pass for Hayden. She gets fouled. That's going to be on Jones.
That's big. I mean, you already see Purdue going in small here. Bass on the center, Hayden. And Petrie's down there too. And she's not really a power forward or center by trade. So Purdue already having to go small, and now their backups, or now Bass is getting some foul trouble here too.
And that foul ended up going on Bass. And Hayden can't connect on the first. 6-point ball game with 4:16 to go in the first half.
And Purdue's done a good job coming back in this one, but for the Hawkeyes, you look right now, you're 3 for 9, or 3 for 9 now from the free throw line. They could just shoot, get a couple more to sneak in, maybe go 7 for 9, 8 for 9. You've got a commanding lead still.
Got to take those free chances and capitalize them. Here's a 3 attempt for Purdue. That one is left short by Bass. Guyton the other way, drives into the paint, puts up a tough shot, and a good layup by Guyton.
Good little shimmy there and a pump fake, getting Bass off to back off her, and a really easy layup, wide open on the way up to the glass for Guyton.
Lombard, top of the key, receives the screen. Double team. Trying to get it back to Bass. Instead, it's Petrie who picks it up. Foul call. This one's going to go against the Hawkeyes. Jan Jensen doesn't believe it should be. It's going to be on Ava Hayden. That's her first foul.
Let's look back here. Just looked Bass off. Bass had to back off as Guyton looked towards Hayden down low, and that just opened up so much space for Guyton to work with.
Here's an attempt from Collier. That one's no good. Rebounded by Petrie. Ripped away by Stremlow. Pass ahead for Guyton. Driving towards the baseline. Triple team to the corner from McCabe. Top of the key. 3 of Fulter is good.
Gotta have it if you're that wide open. And Fulter able to get the job done, find the bottom of the net, and bring home the triple for the Hawkeyes.
Great ball movement down into the baseline. Cross-court pass from McCabe to a wide-open Sydney of Fulter, and nothing but net. Hawkeyes on a 6-0 run over the last minute, and now lead at 41-29. Purdue burns a timeout. You're watching women's basketball on Big Ten. 41-29 Hawks with 3:20 to go in the second quarter. Sydney of Fulter a big-time 3. She's up to 7 points tonight.
Getting it done on the boards, too. She's already got 3 rebounds. She had 2 of them are offensive, and she had that put-back second-chance opportunity here early in the quarter that really helped the Hawkeyes start to pull away and go on their little run, 6-0 run in the past minute.
Collier stripped by Stremlow. Gets kicked away. Fulter's there to pick it up. Great defense by Stremlow. Able to take that one away. Here's Sydney of Fulter down the baseline. Around for McCabe. Back to Guyton. Guyton getting some serious minutes today. Here's Stremlow. That's a Fulter. Back out to Guyton. She drives, puts up a tough layup. It hits off the front iron. Put back by the Hawks. Taylor Stremlow up to 7.
Great off balance play there. I don't know if Stremlow thought that missed iron or the shot clock wasn't restarting, but she threw it back up there. Maybe that's just her shot. She can make it.
Up to 7 points now. Hawkeyes on an 8-0 run. Tough shot for Puryear. Hits the front iron. McCabe the other way. 43-29 with 2 minutes remaining. The freshman getting some serious minutes today in the second conference game for both of these squads. McCabe pops a 3. It's good. Taylor McCabe, one of the best three-point shooters in the conference.
And the Hawkeyes now starting to pull away. And I mean, you mentioned it, freshman playing right now. You know, McCabe, she's got some experience out there. But it's been Ava Hayden down low. She has been locking down the interior, just making it impossible for the Boilermakers to score inside.
Here's a 3 from Swanson, fading away.
If you can't score inside, take some shots on the exterior there and a big 3.
Here's Guyton for a 3. That one rattles out. Halfway down, but couldn't drop. Here's Swanson. This one stripped by Stremlow. Stremlow all alone, off the window and good.
Looks like Stremlow's getting her hand on everything coming her way. That's her 3rd steal of the day, 7th for the Hawkeyes. 10 turnovers now for the Boilermakers.
Lombard directing traffic. One-on-one with Guyton. 15 on the shot clock. Lombard calling for the screen. Gets it. Guyton, good defense, puts up a shot off the window. It's tipped out. Top of the key. 3 for Layden. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Hayden. Shot clock turned off.
Guyton down there with a good box out on Purdue's center there. Love to see it from a smaller guard. And Hayden clearing out that ball with the block and grabbing the rebound. Now the Hawkeyes have a chance for a little 2-for-1 action.
Hawkeyes looking for the final shot. Guyton directing traffic. Gets the screen from Hayden. Guyton drives, puts up a tough 2, and rolls in at the buzzer. Aaliyah Guyton connects. Hawkeyes 50, Purdue 32, and it's been the freshman. Stremlau 50 to 32. Hawkeyes lead at the half, and a great halftime show by a couple of dogs catching frisbees.
Yeah, I mean, I want to know how they train those dogs, because my dogs at home really like to take the ball and just run away with it. But look at them.
Look at the vertical on that thing. That is crazy.
Yeah.
A great halftime show today by those two dogs. Hawkeyes leading 50 to 32, and Purdue's made it interesting at times, but really the Hawkeyes have had their way, especially as of late on a 15-3 run over the last 4 minutes and 16 seconds. But you look at the turnovers, that was the story coming in, and both teams racking up the turnovers as well. 10 for Purdue, 6 for the Hawkeyes. And the Hawkeyes have been able to take advantage of those opportunities as well, especially Taylor Stremlau. She has been red hot tonight. 9 points, perfect from the field so far, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. And this freshman class as a whole has been getting a lot of minutes tonight, but tonight 12 for Stremlau, and she leads the team in points right now with 9.
Yeah, she's just been so productive and efficient. When you talked about this turnover, she's got 3 steals. Fulton has 3 more, and Iowa's really been good at getting those turnovers in the middle of runs and able to just expand those runs to more and more points on the board and extending their lead. You saw in the last, I think it was 3 minutes, yeah. Hawkeyes didn't have a single turnover. They cleaned it up and instantly expanded the lead from 6 to 18 just in a couple of minutes at the end of the half. So they want to put this game out of reach. They just got to keep it clean and keep getting those turnovers on this Purdue offense.
Keeping it clean is what both teams preached coming into this game. Both teams tied for second in turnovers in the Big Ten. And both of them have turned over the ball quite a bit, but like you said, Joel, Hawkeyes have cleaned it up as of late. Here's Sydney Fulter back to Olsen on the Tiger Hawk logo. Lucy normally leading the team in points tonight. She has 6. All of them came early in that first quarter. She's been pretty quiet since. Here's a 3-pointer from the corner. Just rattles out. Fulter gets the rebound. Back out to Olsen. Thought about a 3. Drives towards the baseline. Gives it up to Feuerbach. Bounce pass to O'Grady through the double team. Is fouled but can't get it to drop.
Let's see who they're going to call this on. I think it's Bass, which would be big for Purdue if McCarthy had gotten her 4th foul in this first minute of the second half. That would not be ideal as they try to stop this Iowa team that's been really dominant attacking the glass today.
Sydney Fulter having a phenomenal night as well. Also perfect from the field as O'Grady hits her first. Rattles home the second, 52-32 Hawkeyes with a 20-point lead.
Big pair of free throws there for Iowa. Trying to get back into that groove from the free throw line. It's been a struggle really all season, and today especially. 5 for 11, under 50% so far, leaving a lot of points on the floor.
Here's a contested shot by Bass. Grabs at her knee after the shot. Here's a Fulter the other side. Inside to O'Grady. She gets fouled again. And she chuckles as she couldn't get that one to drop either.
This time it's Reynolds getting called for the foul. So not one of their bigs, but that's their 3. And if McCarthy gets into some more foul trouble, they could be leaning on Reynolds down low too. So Iowa doing a good job continuing to attack this Purdue team that's just been struggling to just not get in contact with the Hawkeyes and draw fouls.
Yeah, a lot of fouls drawn. 12 now for Purdue as O'Grady heads back to the line. Off the back iron. Almost everybody for the Hawkeyes that has touched the court today has scored. Kylie Feuerbach, the only one still with a goose egg in points. But the Hawkeyes spreading the wealth, up 53-32. And, I mean, we talked about Stremla. She's leading the team in points off the bench, but everybody's been getting involved and everyone contributing quite a bit.
And they've been playing pretty clean, too. 11 assists so far today, 22 rebounds. They're grabbing those second-chance boards. They're not letting Purdue get a ton of opportunities on the other side for second-chance opportunities. And they've just been dominant so far, especially in that back half of the second quarter.
McCarthy breaks the run for the Hawkeyes with 8.5 to go in this third quarter.
Finally getting on the board is that freshman for Purdue who's shown she can be really good here in the future. And she's only been able to play 5 minutes today just because of how the Hawkeyes have attacked her.
Stolke spin cycle, puts it off the glass. But you're right, going back to McCarthy, just a freshman, 6'4", but she's been a really good big for Purdue. And it's going to be important down the stretch as long as she can stay out of foul trouble. Feuerbach gives it to Stolke, but just through the hands. Feuerbach with the fastball. Turns it over. And now a foul on the Hawkeyes as Reynolds was in transition.
Yeah, McCarthy, she has the ability to be pretty dominant. She's pretty athletic. And for someone who's athletic at 6'4", I mean, her volleyball team went 80-0 in high school, 4 state champions. She was a 4-time All-State, so she can jump, she can get up, and she's going to be a big part of this Purdue team going on.
Here's a corner attempt from Lombard. She connects. Destiny Lombard, the 5th year, connects on a 3. That's her second. She's up to 8 points tonight.
Boilermakers going to need more of that if they want to claw back into this game.
That one goes out of play. There'll be another turnover for the Hawkeyes.
Another big break for Purdue there. You get the 3. Now you have the opportunity to cut into that lead a little bit more. Hawkeyes were able to get it up to 20. But we'll see how Purdue can respond.
Here's Lombard again. Just shot a 3 from over there. Gets a screen. Gives it back to McCarthy in the paint. Spin cycle. Puts up a shot off the backboard and rebounded by Stolke. Here's a Fulter the other way for Feuerbach. Back to a Fulter with 7 minutes remaining. Olsen to a Fulter. Olsen thought about a drive. Gives up to Feuerbach in the corner. Bounce pass into the paint for Stolke and a foul.
Stolke was down there battling against Petrie for that entire possession, really. No fouls there until the end, and Stolke just had that position. She just needed a feed from either Olsen and Feuerbach, and Feuerbach had that opening. Foul called on the floor, though, so no free throws for Stolke.
Stremlo checks in. Again, 9 points on the night so far. She gets it on the inbound from Olsen, top of the key. Swings it around for McKay, but it's ripped away by Lombard. Another steal for Destiny as she gets it to drop off the glass.
Stremlo just running after her, trying to get a hand on that ball. Lombard did a nice job finishing with all that pressure coming behind her and helping Purdue out to a short little run here. Iowa's with 3 turnovers in the past 2 minutes, and there's another one.
O'Grady with the pass to Stremlo just off the fingertips. That is the Hawkeyes' 9th turnover today.
Seems like they tend to get those in waves. They have a couple minutes, they play pretty sloppy, and then you hit a break, a timeout, and they come out and they play pretty clean and get all those points back. So I was really going to have to get better at the consistency here as the season comes along.
Petrie can't connect on the mid-range shot. Here's McCabe the other way on the Tiger Hawk logo. Olsen, top of the key. Olsen, one-on-one with Lombard, gives it up to Stolke. Right back to Olsen, wide open, left wing three off the back iron. It's rebounded by Stolke into the corner for McCabe. Another three, no good. Stolke picks up the rebound, another second chance point. McCabe thought about a three again. Stremlow into the paint for O'Grady, double teamed, battling for it, and a foul.
And that's why it's so important to get the opposing team's bigs into foul trouble. It opens up so many opportunities for the Hawkeyes to just dominate the boards offensively. You see Purdue here, the nice little getaway run, giving them some life here, but Iowa dominating the offensive boards. Now another foul called on Purdue. That's their fourth already in the quarter. And it looks like they're trying to take control.
O'Grady to Stremlow, over for Guyton. Down low for Stolke, saves it, but turns it over. Reynolds ahead for Lombard, one-on-one, bounce past the Poole, off the window, no good. Rebounded by McCabe. Jordan Poole had the wide open layup, but couldn't connect. Guyton over to Stremlow, thought about a three, pulls it down. Right back to O'Grady, she gets blocked. O'Grady, another tough shot, blocked again by McCarthy. Purdue saves it, Reynolds battling for it, and a jump ball is called. Possession arrow for the Boilermakers.
McCarthy showing how effective she can be on defense and showing how important it is if she can just stay on the court and help Purdue out defensively.
55-39 Hawkeyes as we hit the media timeout. You're watching women's basketball on Big 5-39 Hawks lead out of the media timeout. Purdue trying to mount a comeback and put some points on the board, and they're going to lean on those transfers like they have this season. Destiny Lombard has been a big reason why the Purdue Boilermakers have had success this season, leading the team in points per game and has 10 tonight. A transfer out of LSU, but you see the three others up there, Collier, Bass, and Petrie, all have been massive contributors this season, and all transfers for Katie Gerald's Purdue Boilermaker squad this season.
You see a lot of players up there leading this team on offense, but Lombard has just been dominant defensively. 5 steals already today. Looking to add to it as this game gets into the later stages.
Here's a three attempt from Collier. She connects. The transfer from Marion connects on the tray, and she's up to 6 points.
Hawkeyes in a bit of a scoring drought here, and Purdue is taking advantage, just crawling back into this one.
Here's McCabe, another three attempt off the iron, and Lombard comes down with the rebound. Cross-court pass for Poole. She drives, double team, gives it up to McCarthy, puts up a tough two, and it's good.
It was a great pass by Poole, almost like it passing while she was diving to the floor.
And talk about a bounce back. Second half for Alana McCarthy, as what a steal by Lombard, reaching for the stars. Pass out to Collier for three. It's good. Ella Collier. Purdue on a 13-0 scoring run, 55-47.
Brings it down to an 8-point game, and Purdue is just playing confident right now. They're playing under control. They're not making those mistakes, not giving Iowa anything free. And they are just coming back and showing they're not going away quite yet.
Jan Jensen calls a timeout as 55-47. Hawkeyes still lead with 3:47 to go in the third quarter, but the Boilermakers making a comeback, 13-0 run over the last 4 minutes, and Destiny Lombard has been an absolute workhorse for the Boilermakers. Has 10 points, leads the way offensively, but her defense has been phenomenal. She had that massive steal, reaching for the stars, but also dishing it out to her teammates, and a wide open three for Collier to cause the timeout from head coach Jan Jensen. Joel, what do the Hawkeyes need to do here to stop this Purdue run and get out of here with a win?
I mean, it's pretty simple for the Hawkeyes. When they're not turning the ball over, they're outplaying Purdue. But in this scoring drought for the Hawkeyes, they've also had 7 turnovers, which have led to Purdue getting open shots, getting the numbers down on the court, and just able to come back and hit those big, wide-open threes that have brought them back to within 8.
Olsen, tough mid-range two, hits the front iron. Reynolds quickly the other way for Purdue, loses control and goes out of bounds, but he'll stay on this side with Purdue.
Lucy Olsen did a good job getting a hand on that ball as they were driving down the floor. Lombard a little too loose with her dribbles, and kind of looks like Iowa really putting some emphasis on getting back on defense and forcing Purdue to set up their offense.
Here's a three attempt from Reynolds, leaves it long, goes out of bounds, but it looks like a foul. And that's going to be on Taylor McCabe, away from the play. They'll keep the ball over here with Purdue. Collier, corner three attempt. Can't connect. McCarthy fighting for the rebound. Hayden gets it out to Fulter.
A freshman going after it.
Stolke and Reynolds go up for the pass, and they hit the deck. Both get up just fine, and it looks like a jump ball is going to be called.
Good job by Lombard getting after it. Turning her hips and able to track that ball down.
Looks like they're going to call a foul on Lombard, so that will send Stolke to the line. So Kylie Fierbach checks in for McCabe. Stolke to shoot two. Breaks the scoring drought. Extends the Hawkeye lead to 9. Makes both. 10-point ball game, 3:19 to go in the quarter. Reynolds brings it up.
That's what the Hawkeyes have needed from Stolke to improve that free throw percentage. And now she's up to 73% and hitting those clutch ones here right now, giving some breathing room for the Hawkeyes.
Poole puts up a wild shot and it goes out of play. Tried to spin around Stolke, but couldn't get her feet set. Another turnover for the Boilermakers.
And that was not what Purdue has been doing on this run. They kind of rushed the shot, forced up a contested shot there mid-range. Not the best shot that they could get. When they were coming back, they were getting those open shots, making the extra pass to find that good percentage shot.
Hayden bounce pass to Olsen, goes wide. A Fulter picks it up. Fierbach, top of the key, swings it around to Olsen. Looking inside for Stolke to Hayden, but that one goes out of play. Another turnover for the Hawkeyes. They're up to 14.
They have. That number has just grown quickly as we turn into the second half. And we saw Iowa give up a big lead in their last game against UNI, and it's looking to be the similar story here. You know, they're just keeping Purdue around way too long because of these mistakes.
Jones goes to work, gives up to Collier, around to Reynolds. Cross-court pass for Jones. Drives into the paint, kick out three for Reynolds. Leaves it long, rebounded by McCarthy, off the window. That one's too strong, and a Fulter comes down with a rebound, and they call a jump ball. Possession arrow is with the Hawkeyes.
Reynolds just grinding out down there, trying to find a way to get her hands on the ball, and looks like she had the ball wrapped up there for a second, and that was enough for the jump ball call.
The Kylie Fierbach to inbound it. Stolke to Fierbach. Around to a Fulter. Lucy Olsen left wing. Stolke in the paint. Kicks it out to a Fulter. Dribbles and drives into the paint. Off the window and good. Sydney Fulter up to 7 points. Jones with under 2 minutes left in the quarter. Jones drives, puts up a shot, leaves it short.
It was a big possession for Purdue there, trying to answer that a Fulter two.
Fulter bounce pass to Stolke, gives it up to O'Grady off the window. Addie O'Grady up to 10 points.
The energy is back in Carver Hawkeye. Now that Iowa is moving like we saw them move at the end of the second quarter, like we've seen them move this season when they start that offense going and playing efficiently.
Purdue calls a timeout. Iowa leading 61-47, building momentum, a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes, and now Purdue is in the scoring drought. It seems to be going back and forth. Iowa will go into a scoring drought, and Purdue will claw their way back, and Iowa will go on a run. Purdue struggling to even get buckets. Now a 61-47 lead for Iowa. Still plenty of ball left to play here with 1:27 to go in the third quarter. But Joel, it really feels like Iowa can continue to rebuild that momentum. And it's not just the starting five that's out on the court. A lot of the time it's the freshman class that comes in, rebuilds that momentum, and gets the Hawkeyes back on track.
Yeah, and right now, down the stretch, it's going to be which team can stay composed the most. We've seen Purdue look really good until they get close to the Hawkeyes, close to coming back, evening up the score, and then they start making some silly mistakes. And then on the other side, Iowa gets up big, and they start to just relax a little bit, make some bad passes, throw it out of bounds, and that allows Purdue to come on back.
Travel called on Puryear. So another turnover for Purdue. Olsen brings it across. Olsen, the minute 5. Feuerbach tries to get it into O'Grady, but it gets tipped and out of play, and it's going the other way. And they switch the call, so it'll stay with the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, that looked off Purdue pretty easily there. Oh, a little closer than it looked live. But I like the pass, the aggressiveness getting to O'Grady.
Gets it right back to O'Grady.
It's where they've been dominant all game long. Hawkeyes just control the interior on that side of the court.
Collier tries back out to Reynolds into the corner for Lombard. Reynolds can't pull in the pass. O'Grady with the interception. 35 seconds remaining. Olsen, right wing. Gives it to a Fulter. Left wing for Feuerbach. It's good. Kylie Feuerbach gets on the board. Every Hawkeye that has touched the court tonight has scored.
Just a big shot from Feuerbach. She put up one field goal earlier in the first half, missed it, and now comes out. Big moment here to extend the lead to 19, drains the 3.
Here's Collier, but a foul is called.
Moving screen there in Puryear. Allowed Stolke to kind of just move her off. Got caught with the shuffle. And now Iowa's got a chance. They got the final say here in the third quarter.
8 seconds left. Olsen brings it across. 5 seconds. Stolke for Feuerbach. Back down low for O'Grady. Puts up a shot, leaves it short. Stolke saves it. And it goes out of bounds with .4 on the clock.
All right, so the Hawkeyes do have a chance to get a shot up. If there's more than 0.3 seconds left in the clock, you can get a shot. So they just have to draw up a play to get someone open.
We're going to bring in McCarthy for this final shot here to end the quarter.
Good move. I wouldn't be surprised if Iowa tries to attack the interior.
Stolke puts up a shot at the buzzer. It goes in. Did she get it up in time? They're going to take a look at it, but I think she did.
They're counting it.
They're going to count it. 68-47. Hawkeyes. Stolke at the buzzer.
Purdue bringing in McCarthy to play some defense on the interior, and Stolke says it doesn't matter, I'll put it up anyway. And she banks it in.
Hawkeyes with a 13-0 run to end the quarter, 68-47. When we come back, we'll have a late look here at the Stolke layup at the buzzer, and after further review, they did take it off the board, so no good from Hannah Stolke, just late. So instead of 68-47, it'll be 66-47 Hawkeyes.
Yeah, and 0.4 seconds is enough to get a shot off, but you just got it. It's got to go up right away. She takes a little extra time with her momentum going towards the backboard, and the time just runs out right before she can release the ball.
A good look for Stolke, but no good as we take a look at last year's standings in the Big Ten. Iowa, of course, another magical season, back to the national championship game, right up there behind Ohio State. But Purdue towards the bottom, 5-13 last year, trying to right the ship this season. But, of course, the new look Big Ten, that's all been jumbled up. UCLA, USC towards the top right now. Washington and Oregon in there as well. Purdue, more competition to try and climb the ladder. And the Hawkeyes trying to stay atop the Big Ten.
This makes the Big Ten season so much more competitive and hardcore. I mean, probably one of the better, could be the best conference here in women's basketball, the NCAA. And it's going to be, every night is going to be a big game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. And it's going to be ultra competitive this year.
I mean, when Purdue has 8 of their next 9 games against top 40 teams, and a lot of them are top 25 teams. That tells you something. Feuerbach connects on the 3 from the top of the key. 69-47, Hawkeyes lead, and Feuerbach starting to catch some heat here in the second half.
Just a big return from the three-point line today in the second half especially. It's helped them pull away here after they let Purdue come in a little bit, come back.
Whistle as McCarthy stepped out of play. Here's another look at Kylie Feuerbach.
No one on her, just wide open, and she is able to just find the bottom of the net, put it through.
Feuerbach drives, passes it into O'Grady, but it's ripped away by Petrie. Ahead for Lombard, puts up a shot, leaves it short. A Fulter comes down with it, and Petrie comes flying in, but he'll stay with the Hawkeyes.
Going for that jump ball again, but she grabbed just a Fulter, it seems like, just her arms, wrapped her up, gave her a hug. And Hawkeyes, another foul.
Leah Guyton checks in for Lucy Olson.
I don't have the stat in front of me, and I don't think they keep this, but I think this is the longest Purdue has made it into a quarter without a foul. It seems like they've been called within 30 seconds.
We need to have a stopwatch on that thing. Here's Guyton, pulls up from 3, off the iron, rebounded by McCarthy. Leah Guyton, another exciting freshman on the squad. She's hit a 3 already tonight. Jones gives it up to Swanson. She drives. That one's tipped out and taken away by Guyton. Gives it up to Feuerbach. Thought about a 3. Drives in. Gives it up to Stolke. Off the window. Can't connect.
She's not going to miss too much of those, but Feuerbach with a good play there. That's what happens when you hit some 3s. Defense has to come up on you on the arc, and she's able to drive by and get Stolke a good look.
A Fulter got a fingertip on it, but Petrie comes down with it. Back to Jones. She drives, gives it up to McCarthy. Ripped away by a Fulter. Guyton on loan the other way. Pulls up from 3. Top of the key. Off the front iron and rebounded by Swanson.
I think that 3 right there shows Guyton is probably one of the most confident three-point shooters on this Iowa team, if not the most confident. Just to pull up and try that shot, and she can make that shot in transition. But to do that, it just shows a lot, especially from the freshman.
And that's exactly what made Caitlin Clark so good in those years here in Iowa, what made her the #1 overall pick, those transition 3s, not being afraid to pull up when nobody's around her except the defense.
It's a big thing this Iowa offense is missing, too, someone who's willing to take that shot. Taylor McCabe, really good shot, but she's very cautious with her opportunities. She'll take the shot if she has it open.
And Tika Mullaney can also shoot from 3 as she connects on a long range, too. Here's a long 3 for Purdue, but leaves it long as Swanson can't connect.
A little early in the shot clock there for Purdue. Of course, you're moving quickly, but you got to make sure you get a better shot than that if you want to come back here, as it's starting to get out of range. Up 71-47.
Here's a Fulter for 3. That one rims out. Back out to Guyton. She loses control, but she'll regain it with 15 on the shot clock. Guyton gets the screen, drives in, puts up a wild shot, is fouled, but can't get it to drop.
A good drive there from Guyton. She's one of the shortest players on the court, but that drive shows she's not acting like it. Good little fadeaway shot. Almost got it to fall, but able to draw the foul and head up to the line.
A 5'7" freshman from Peoria, Illinois. Two-time first-team IBCA. Taylor Stremlau will check back in for the Hawks. Misses the first. Hawkeyes looking ahead. They will travel to Happy Valley to start off the new year and battle with the Penn State Nittany Lions, then come back home to battle the 8th-ranked Maryland Terrapins and hit the road again for Illinois.
That Terrapins game is going to be real good here in Carver Hawkeye. See if the weather
holds up.
Yeah. I mean, we got good weather today. Big Ten ball means you're going to have to try to attend some games in snowstorms and negative degree weather. affect the crowd sizes, but Iowa willing to show out today on a beautiful day here near the end of the year.
Especially over winter break. A lot of students home, but a really good crowd here today to witness the Hawks. This one's tipped into the air and a foul is called as Poole was looking for McCarthy.
And a full arena is nothing Iowa isn't used to. Caitlin Clark filled it every night, and now the Hawkeye faithful giving back to the Iowa team and filling the arena even without Clark. And, you know, Jan was saying it earlier in the season. She was telling her team Iowa's still going to get everyone's best shot because of how packed this arena is, because of all the noise around the Hawkeyes. And they're going to have to compete as hard as they can every night. No one's going to give them an off night.
McCarthy not done yet. Puts up the layup. 71-51. Mulaney back to Stremlo, over to Guyton. Stremlo top of the key. 4 freshmen and Lucy Olson. Here's Ava Hayden. Good shot off the window. It's good.
Hayden showed her footwork there. Mobility. Quick move there. Got position on McCarthy with just one move, one pivot, and just had the wide open shot underneath the hoop.
Here's McCarthy. Gives up to Collier. She drives. Kicks it out. Short on the 2 is Reagan Bass. And another foul. And that's going to bring the ball across for the Hawkeyes.
Believe that was on McCarthy, and that'll be her 4th. But up to this point here in the second half, she has been phenomenal at just adjusting to this Big Ten play and cleaned up the foul trouble there. She didn't start out with those 2 in the first quarter. Who knows what Purdue would have been at, how she would have played. She missed out on some good minutes against some really, really elite bigs. But she has done a good job adjusting.
Guyton kicks it out to Olsen. Here's Mulaney for 3. She connects. Tegan Mulaney from downtown, 76-51. And when you have a forward like that that's not afraid to shoot the 3, that's always a good sign for the Hawks.
Definitely is. And Iowa doesn't really shy away from the 3 by any means, but they've just struggled to put it in the hoop so far this year. So to see Iowa kind of going on a little hot run here in the second half is really promising for Hawkeye fans for what they could see the rest of the year, especially down the road when they start playing these top teams like Maryland here in a week.
4:15 left in this one. Gives it up to Mulaney in the paint, double teamed. Reynolds gets a hand on it and it goes out of bounds. 4:11 on the clock as we hit a media timeout. Iowa leading 76-51. And Tegan Mulaney starting to heat up late in this one. A corner 3 for the Hawks. 76-51 Hawkeyes lead with just over 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Addie O'Grady, one of the best bigs in the Big Ten, and she has been having another phenomenal night. 12 points on 7 attempts to go along with 3 rebounds. I mean, you can't say enough about Addie O'Grady. She comes in with so many questions around that 5 position. Last year, everyone thought that Ava Hayden was going to slide right into that spot, but Addie O'Grady this season has proven why she deserves that starting spot, and tonight's no different.
Yeah, and she doesn't just do it when it doesn't matter. She's doing it in crunch time. She helped the Hawkeyes here pull away. She had 7 points in the third quarter once they let Purdue get closer. It's Addie O'Grady who kind of propelled this Hawkeye team down the stretch and helped them regain their lead. Their commanding lead is now extended to 25. But she has been phenomenal, and she has proven those doubters wrong and provided a really good 5 that the Hawkeyes are going to try and anchor on here with Stolke and Olsen here in January and February.
She had a career-high 27 points against Drake earlier this year. And again, just proving why she is one of the best bigs in the conference, even with now the pressure of some big names coming in to play that 5 spot. Here's Reynolds who puts up the shot.
Reynolds did a good job sticking with it. Second chance opportunity, but Hayden able to catch up to the guard on defense and contest that shot enough to force the air ball.
Here's Mulaney trying to get around the double team. kicks it out to Guyton. And how about all the minutes this freshman class is getting? We've seen all 4 of them on the court quite a bit tonight, and a lot of times all together. Ava Hayden off the window and good through the contact.
Yeah, they have looked good on the floor, too. They've shown that they can play Big Ten ball. These freshmen can compete. They can give Iowa some really good minutes here down the stretch, especially when they need to give some rest to Olsen, Stolke, and O'Grady.
Layden gets it out to Collier into the corner. Drives out to Poole. But it's going to be a foul. It's going to be on Aaliyah Guyton.
Guyton just trying to close off that baseline, but a little late to it, pushed them off. And Purdue, they might walk away here with the loss, but they've got a couple chances here to get some big quality wins in these next 3 games. You see Michigan State, UCLA, Michigan, all top 25, UCLA number 1 in the country. And it's these streaks like this where if you can just pull 1 or 2 out of these top 25 matchups, that's big come March and big for your chances at making the tournament.
Collier puts up a long 2, can't connect. Some changes for the Hawkeyes. Shada Jimphy, Callie Levine, A.J. Ediger all check in for the Hawks. Guyton in for Ediger, off the window and good. A.J. Ediger making her 6th appearance of the season. Picks up a bucket. Here's a long-range 3 for Purdue. That one from McKenna Layden, the sophomore. Missed the final 11 games of last season due to injury, but able to come back this year. Leah Guyton, long 3, leaves it long.
Right now on the floor, Iowa's got some of their players in trying to get some experience, and Guyton's got the opportunity now to run the offense as the lead. And she had that nice little post feed to Ediger there that looked really good, showed off her passing ability that made the Hawkeyes so excited about bringing her in.
Poole goes up with a shot, and she's fouled. Guyton couldn't avoid the contact. That's her 2nd foul. And that will put Purdue at the line.
Purdue still attacking. These are good reps here at the end of the game still. And a nice little move by Poole, going up, catching that arm from Guyton, and now she gets her opportunity at the line.
Poole can't connect on the first. Jordan Poole, 5'7" freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, was Miss Basketball runner-up in the state of Indiana. And she's one of those freshmen that have gotten some serious minutes in this one for Purdue, stepping up with a lot of their star players out for this season. Not quite announced out for the rest of the year, but they're hoping to get the likes of Jayla Smith, Mila Reynolds, and Elena Harper back before the end of the year.
Yeah, and it's tough when you lose some of those players that you thought were going to have those major roles coming into the season. But Purdue has a bunch of players here in their first year with the program that are making that impact and showing that just because they're out, they're not going to just roll over and let the season go to a waste. They're going to compete.
Jada Jimphy gets into the paint, puts it off the glass. A fan favorite here in Iowa City. Picks up a bucket. Here's a 3 attempt from Collier, and she connects. Silences the crowd again. Hawkeyes with a 22-point lead here with a minute left.
That 3 ball from Collier really didn't make an appearance until the 3rd quarter. Had a couple of big threes to bring them in within 6. But it's something that I'd like Purdue to go to more, as she really has that ability to hit those long-distance shots.
Under a minute left, Guyton drives, puts it off the window, and connects. Gets it to drop in. Petrie to Layden, over to Collier. One-on-one with Jimphy. Back to the top of the key with Layden. Collier for 3, can't connect. A battle for the rebound, it goes out of play. It will stay over here with the Boilermakers.
And if you're the Hawkeyes, question mark all season really has been that depth. Are those freshmen really going to be able to provide you that depth? And today we've seen it. We got 6, 7 players with 9 or more points, including Addie O'Grady leading the team at 12.
Swanson with a 3.
So many people scoring for the Hawkeyes. It's been an impressive game. They battled back after Purdue got it close, and now they're going to be able to close it out here.
84-63. Guyton's going to dribble this one out, and Jan Jensen will pick up her first conference victory since taking over the program as the head coach. She's been around for so many big